సో ది డెలివరీ గై హ్యాస్ కమ్. మేము పోయి కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్లు అడుగుతాము. మీరు రోజు ఎట్లాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫేస్ అవుతూ ఉంటారు?
ఇక బైక్ మీద కొంచెం అన్సేఫే ఉంటుంది డెలివరీ బాయ్స్కి.
Circumstances dictate that I have to be in this economy because I do not have the proper education needed to get a so-called job in the society.
ఫారెన్కి వెళ్తారు ఎంటెక్ కోసం అని చెప్పేసి.
Survival, no.
దే ఆర్ డెఫినెట్లీ గోనా డూ పార్ట్ టైం. అప్పుడేమంటావు?
But then
వర్క్ వేర్.
exactly.
The flex about it is crazy. Like you video call me, yeah bro, part time చేస్తున్నా, and then we're like, oh wow.
తర్వాత కొంత కస్టమర్స్ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇవ్వరు.
So would either of you ever do gig work full time and actually survive on it?
This is going to sound controversial, but I'm going to pick. The nature of work has changed. Work anedi, it's not like you have to go to an office, check in at 9:30, log out at 5:36. That's not work anymore. At least for this part of the population. For this part of the population, it's about me logging into my app. It may be 8 a.m. in the morning, it may be 9 a.m. in the morning, or let's say if I have I had a late night last night, I want to start work later on in the morning. 11:30 I'll start work, I'll log into my app, and that's when my work begins. There's no fixed hours to work. 6 hours anedi, 8 hours anedi, 9 hours anedi ledu. Here I have logged into my app. I want to work for the next 2-3 hours. Probably I have some plan later on, or I want to take rest. I log into that app, I deliver a few orders, earn whatever I want to whatever I could earn, or what the platform promises. I earn that, and I'm just logging out of the app. So my work hours are not fixed like 40 hours a day or something of that sort. I work, I get paid. I don't work, I don't get paid. So that's probably platform, right? Where is the problem then? If the freedom is to me, whenever I want to work, how much longer I want to, where is the problem then?
Fair wages, first of all. No.
But you're trading that off for freedom kada. You want the freedom.
కానీ కష్టం కూడా ఉంది కదా దాంట్లో. They're working hard. It's not like it's not like betting or something. I'm not endorsing that. But anyways, yeah, it's not an easy work. వాళ్ళు కష్టపడి they have to deliver. If they're committing to something, అది చేసి తీరాలి. దాంట్లో మళ్ళీ here comes the first problem which I've seen or I've heard from, that the apps or the applications taking some amount of money from their own pay, from the pay of the delivery worker. నా ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ అది నేను తీసుకుంటున్నా. వీ కెన్ ఆస్క్
Okay.
యా సో దాంట్లో అగైన్ దెర్స్ అ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సేయింగ్కి ఇట్స్ లైక్ అనదర్ ట్యాక్స్ ఇన్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. వాళ్ళు కష్టపడుతుంది కానీ దాంట్లో కూడా సగం లేపేసినారు. అండ్ ఆల్సో డిగ్నిటీ ఆఫ్ లేబర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇక్కడ. యువర్ in exchange for freedom, in exchange for dignity, in exchange for literally every other thing which is like essential, bare minimum for a human, all of them are being sacrificed. In the end, deniki for what? Hand to mouth survival. If one day, let's just say that if you fall sick, you can't be like, hey, I have to take a leave. Ida leave లేదు గివ్ లేదు అంతే. నువ్వు పోయిందంటే పైసలు పోయిందంటే నీకు తిండి కూడా ఉండదు, టాబ్లెట్స్ కూడా పైసలు ఉండవు. But let's just say that you're working at a firm or a company, the formalities go and you know that you're secure. నీకు ఆ ఫీలింగ్ ఉంది కి I have few benefits if I'm working for a company. But when it comes to such for this population, there is no security at all. There's no safety net asalu.
You're right in that sense. Ippudu one freedom is there to log in whenever you want, but second there is no security. And security kuda, it's, let's say, basic things like a health insurance or an accidental insurance, because you're spending your time mostly on the road trying to deliver orders. So health insurance ledu, accident insurance ledu. Deenvalla, these are the biggest safety net that any person can have, right?
I mean, we can give examples for dignity of labor. Saying ki there are so many cases. It's not even like news lo kuda vastayi kada. Saying ki like this so and so delivery guy was abused, or and there are people who are putting up reels, like people who are working in companies like Zomato or Swiggy as delivery workers. They're like not even this, yes madam. The other day నేను చూసాను urban company or yes madam, I don't remember, urban company. So this particular lady, she went into a client's place for some beauty services. కానీ లైక్ షీ క్లియర్లీ మెన్షన్ అంట దట్ ఈ మెషిన్ పని చేస్తలేదు మ్యామ్, కొంచెం ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ మైండ్ అని చెప్పేసి. ద క్లయింట్ వాజ్ లైక్ ఓకే ఓకే నో వరీస్ అని చెప్పేసి. బట్ లేటర్ షీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ స్విచ్డ్ ఆన్ హర్ వర్డ్ సేయింగ్కి, అండ్ షీ కాల్డ్ అప్ ది ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్స్ అంట సేయింగ్కి గో ఈ మా పిల్ల పని చేస్తలేదు అవన్నీ అని చెప్పేసి ఇలా కొట్టేసారంట వితౌట్ పేయింగ్. అండ్ it's not about about getting paid, it's about how they're being treated. Just because she's providing you with some service doesn't give you any right ki nu etla and atla treat cheyanike. Like, so me and Ankit, we are going to have a competition ki we're going to jot down few points on I guess I mentioned this already, ki what problems that a delivery agent can face, or like a population from the gig economy are facing currently అని చెప్పేసి.
Hello?
I just came down to 2 points for me.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Finally.
Yeah. So guys,
నా పేరు రాకేష్.
Rakesh.
హాయ్ అన్న, నేను క్రిపి. సో ఫైనల్గా ఆర్ అన్న సెడ్ ఎస్. సో మన అన్న పేరు రాకేష్ అన్న. సో అన్న జస్ట్ ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అంతే, ఇప్పుడు మీరు డెలివరీ చేస్తుంటారు కదా, మీరు రోజు ఎట్లాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫేస్ అవుతూ ఉంటారు అంతే చెప్పండి.
రోజు అంటే మేము ఇక బైక్ పైన అది అన్సేఫ్ ఉంటుంది మొత్తం. ఇక మనకు రోడ్ పైన ఇప్పుడు ఏం జరిగేది తెలియదు, అందరు రాంగ్ రూట్లో వస్తుంటారు, మన స్పీడ్ స్కిడ్ అయ్యి పడుతుంటాం, పడ్డా కూడా అట్లా అవుతుంటే రోడ్డు మీద. ఇక బైక్ మీద కొంచెం అన్సేఫే ఉంటుంది డెలివరీ బాయ్స్కి. ఇక తర్వాత కొంత కస్టమర్స్ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇవ్వరు. అట్లనే మేమేం నామోష్గా ఫీల్ కాము, మా డ్యూటీ ఏమో మేము చేసుకుంటాము. ఇక ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అంటే ఇక అంతే అన్సేఫ్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ లేకుంటుంది.
అన్న ఇంకా మీకు పైసలు వస్తాయి కదన్న, ఎంత ఇస్తారు మీకు? మీరు ఇంత కష్టపడతారు కదా, మీకు సాటిస్ఫాక్టరీ వేజ్ వస్తుందా లేకపోతే తక్కువ వస్తుందా?
మాకు సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ అంటే ఏం లేదు, కిలోమీటర్కి ఒక 15 రూపీస్ వస్తుంది. కిలోమీటర్కి 15 రూపీస్ లెక్క మాకు వస్తుంది, అంతే ఉంటుంది. ఇంకా కిలోమీటర్కి ఎన్ని కిలోమీటర్స్ ఉంటే అన్నీ 15
అన్న. ఇది ఇంకో
ఓకే 3 కిలోమీటర్స్ ఉంటే ఇట్లా 45 అలా వస్తాయి.
ఇది మా కిందకన్నా ఒక డౌట్ వచ్చిందన్న, మీరు ఇప్పుడు డెలివరీ చేస్తారు కదా, మీరు మళ్ళీ ఆర్డర్ తీసుకోవాలంటే మళ్ళీ మీరు ఆ స్టోర్ ఎలా దానికి ఇస్తారా పైసలు?
దానికి అంటే ఇది లెక్క ఎట్లుంటుంది అంటే మనం వచ్చేదానికి 10 రూపీస్, పోయేదానికి 5 రూపీస్ అంతే. టోటల్గా 15 కిలోమీటర్కి. కిలోమీటర్ ఉంటుంది కదా, 15 అన్నా కదా నేను, వచ్చేదానికి 10 రూపీస్, వెళ్ళడానికి 5 రూపీస్, అట్లా అకౌంట్ అట్లా ఉంటుంది.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు నాకు అంత మ్యాథ్స్ రాదు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు 5 కిలోమీటర్లు ఇడికి వచ్చారు, దానికి పర్ కిలోమీటర్ 15 రూపీస్, మళ్ళీ వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు
పర్ కిలోమీటర్ 10 రూపీస్ రావడానికి, వెళ్ళడానికి 5 రూపీస్.
Okay, so 50 into 10 plus 50 into 5. అట్లా వస్తాయి.
ఓకే అన్న. అయితే మీరు ఇందాకనే ఫోటో కూడా తీసుకున్నారు, అది మేము క్యాప్చర్ చేయలే, కానీ నేను చేసిన. అది ఎందుకంటే మీరు అందరు కొంచెం రీఫండ్ కోసం అని పెడతారని.
ఎట్లుంటుందంటే కస్టమర్లు ఐటమ్లు ఇది ప్రూఫ్ ఆఫ్ డెలివరీ POD అని ఉంటుంది. మనం అది ఫోటో తీసుకోకుండా ఇచ్చినామంటే ఒకవేళ మీరు రీఫండ్ పెట్టుకుంటారు, మొత్తం ప్రూఫ్ లేకుంటే ఆ డబ్బులు మా పైన పడతాయి, రీఫండ్ డబ్బులు. అలా
సో మీ దగ్గర నుండి కట్ చేస్తారా?
ఒకవేళ రీఫండ్ వస్తే మేము కస్టమర్కి ఐటమ్ ఇవ్వనట్టు రీఫండ్ పెట్టుకుంటారు కదా, నేను ఫోటో ఉంటే ప్రూఫ్ ఇచ్చినట్టు ప్రూఫ్ ఇది.
ఓకే అన్న, సరే బాయ్ అన్న. We are back. We had a lovely conversation with our Zepto Anna. Thank you Anna, Rakesh Anna.
Rakesh OP in the chat.
Yes, please spam GG in the chat guys. So I think in the competition of who gets it better or like who got it better, I think Ankit wins.
I feel like even you won, because Anna talked about when they do delivery, they don't get respect from people. So dignity of labor was a very important point that you mentioned. I think both of us won.
And yeah, it's a draw. And there was another point which was mentioned by Anna, which you've watched, the one where even though they have no safety when there's accidents, so దానికోసం again వాళ్ళకి insurance coverage అన్న or అవి లేవు. So why do you, okay, so that's what we've spoken so far. Now let's actually come to few important questions which I feel need to be addressed. Okay. ఇక్కడ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే నార్మల్గా డూ యూ థింక్ గిగ్ వర్క్ ఇస్ గ్రోయింగ్ బికాస్ పీపుల్ వాంట్ ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ ఆర్ బికాస్ ఫుల్ టైమ్ జాబ్స్ ఆర్ డ్రైయింగ్ అప్ అండ్ లైక్ దిస్ a gap in filling full time jobs?
I think there is. I think it is happening on both supply and the demand side. When you say that people want more flexibility of work, certainly the younger generation, or let's say, and so somebody had told this about content creation. They said that this is an or economy, OR, or and economy. That I am a doctor and I'm a content creator. I am a X person. I do X and I also do Y. So people, I think, are taking it off. Like, let's say people who are working at the lower end IT sector jobs and everything, and let's say they are working in an office, they have their own vehicles. They have their 2 vehicles and 2-wheelers and everything. So in the morning they're doing, let's say, gig works like for Uber or Rapido or something, and then they're going to the office, and then while returning, let's say after the office hours, they again get onto that app and then take a few rides home. When they're going back home, they take a few rides and everything, they go. So an additional income is coming, so people want that flexibility. But also from the supply side, companies, from the demand side also, companies want to test you out first. Right, because companies they don't really want to, the kind of work that these companies are doing, they don't require full-time workers, right? So hence, I feel like they're also encouraging this, but there's also a demand side to it, that people are asking for this kind of work. So I think it's a two-way thing. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, ikkada demand and akkada, it's not like it's a blame or like a fault or a particular reason led than
yeah. So when I started working at FDR, there were a couple of projects that it was that work-life balance antam kada manamu. So work-life balance, I think a little bit off appudu it was. So my brother told me this advice. He said that love your work, not your job. So the concept of work has now changed. Now for us, work for, let's say, at least the elder millennial people and let's say the previous generation, work was, okay, wake up, go to the office, come back in the evening. 9 to 6 is what we call, this was work. This was job, but this was work also. But now, because work is happening after work hours also, let's say typically after 6 p.m. and everything, so there's no fixed timing as to when you have to work. It was not that daytime pe you have to work, evening time pe you have to spend some time with your family or relax or do something else and then go to sleep. You can also actually work in the night and sleep during the day. So when that started happening, when this transition started happening, now you have a 24-hour work culture. I'm not saying 24 hours, you're working 24 hours at a stretch.
He is giving competition to Infosys.
I'm not saying work 24 hours, but I'm saying in 24 hours, you pick which 8 hours you want to work. You want to work, let's say, later in the night, 8 hours and sleep the entire 16 hours in the day, or do something else in the world. That's a different thing.
Basically, flexibility in like picking your schedule.
Yes. So I think that is happening. That flexibility started with, let's say, workplace also, that people need not come to the office and work.
Remote and
right. They go to a cafe and work. That started with millennials. Yeah. I think that started with millennials. And then COVID came and then work from home started. So now, what was before work from anywhere, now work anytime.
అంటే పర్సనల్గా నాకేమనిపిస్తుంది అంటే ఈవెన్ దో పర్టికులర్ జాబ్స్ లైక్ న్యూ జాబ్స్ లైక్ దీస్ ఆర్ ప్రొఫెషన్స్ దే రిక్వైర్ tremendous effort and sometimes they also give you equal amounts of money as well, but still I genuinely feel ki parents don't tend to accept that work culture. వాళ్ళకి ఏమనుకుంటారంటే they have glorified 9 to 5 jobs so much, even sarkari naukris or any naukris like with a specific time. It's like wake up, work, go, me cheppinattu. So do you think, how can we give a convincing point to the parents saying ki, hey, like, my dear mummy, papa, idi kuda job hai, idi kuda, it's a type of, getting your income, and as well as it's type of an unconventional path, and also trying to explore. Ikkada advantage naakem personal ga anpistudi ante when you can work anytime or anywhere, you have the time and scope to explore other skills or interests of your own.
But when you say that, how do you communicate to your parents that I'm doing a job or something? I feel like proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? So let's say, and I certainly have started to believe this, that our parents, growing up, they say that listen to me, we know the best for you. They actually don't know what the best for you is. They know, okay, in society, if you do this is the output that I've seen from multiple people. If let's say 100 people exist in the society, 60 people idi matram ee pan cheste, they get a good living, good life, and they are settled in their life. So they are going according to that. But our generation now are exploring new things, right? So if let's say, if I'm able to give my parents the confidence that even if I don't follow the traditional path, I'll make a good living for myself, and I'm happy with whatever I'm earning, then I think that's a stronger point to communicate to your parents.
So another question here is, this was asked by the staff for both of us. So would either of you ever do gig work full time and actually survive on it? Your opinion first. Would you? And if you would, which one? Would you prefer delivery or service provision, or what would you pick?
Yeah, you asked whether we would do gig works at any point of time, and what would that be? A delivery person or a?
And would you survive on it?
Would you survive on it? Okay.
Full time.
Survival, no, not really, because any individual who is doing any job has in his heart that I want to upskill, I want to grow, I want to grow from what I am earning right now, or from what I'm doing right now. So even if let's say an individual like Rakesh Anna just came and delivered food to us, right? I'm pretty sure in his mind also he has that thinking that, okay, I'm earning this much X amount of money right now, I want to earn even better, I probably want to do much better in my life. So nobody is in this gig area to just be in this. I think everyone at this point, at one point of time, would want to move away from this and do much better things in life. In my heart, I know that I want to do much better things, and this is just going to be my safety net for the, let's say, next couple of years, and I will do much better things than this. So nobody is in the gig or delivery partner space just to be in the delivery partner space. That is just a space saver for them. Okay, fine, I'm doing this now, but I'll do much better things later in my life. So that's the main thing. Whether I will do a gig thing or not, I feel like that makes sense to me. I feel like it's not a demeaning thing to do. Let's say
Yeah, exactly.
If I drive a car and I'm driving from and to my house and to office and everything, in the morning, I don't think I'll feel shy or ashamed that if I take a Rapido or something, pick a few rides on the way, drop them, and then go to my office, then come back and do the same thing. That kind of work I would not be, shy of doing, because at least it'll cover my petrol cost. And given the rates that petrol is rising, any extra money is, okay, welcome. So I will not be shy away to do that. And between product delivery or this kind of a service, I would pick service delivery. And would I rely my life on it? No, not really. Yeah, at some point of time, you would want some stability, some better income, some kind of a safety that, yes, your income is secured. Yeah, some because to raise a family, you need some kind of a security, right? And ultimately, all life is about growing family, right? Yeah, at least 90%.
ఇందాకనే మీరు ఏం మెన్షన్ చేశారంటే it's not a demeaning thing to do, and there's no shame in doing about that. Why do we feel, in the first place, why do we feel ki, this is a term to be demeaning or shameful? Because it's not really encouraged in this society. And I know this for a fact ki I love doing part-time jobs, but it's considered to be like, doing part-time jobs is considered to be like, yeah, you are living in this pit hole of misery, you need something, you have to earn some money so that you can survive అని చెప్పేసి ఒక మీనింగ్ ఉంటుంది. బట్ ఫర్ మీ పర్సనలీ ఐ ఫీల్ లైక్ డూయింగ్ పార్ట్ టైమ్ జాబ్స్ ఇస్ మోర్ ఆఫ్ లైక్ గెటింగ్ ఎక్స్పోజర్ టు ద వరల్డ్ అండ్ ఆల్సో కనెక్టింగ్ టు పీపుల్. దెర్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ రాంగ్ విత్ ఇట్. వన్ డే ఆస్ మై మామ్, మమ్మీ రత్నదీప్లో పోయి క్యాషియర్ లెక్క చేస్తాం మమ్మీ అని చెప్పి, పార్ట్ టైమ్ అని చెప్పేసి, బికాస్ బ్రో దేర్ ఇస్ లిటరలీ గేమ్స్ ఆన్ ఇట్. పీపుల్ ఆర్ హుక్డ్ ఆన్ టు ప్లేయింగ్ I don't know, cooking games anna, lekapothe anything, and they're like, oh my god, this is so cool. How about you just do it? I will get money also. I mean, if you know you have time and stuff. My mama was like, అయ్యా పైసలు ఇస్తున్నాం కదా నీకు, నువ్వు బాగానే ఉన్నావు కదా, ఎందుకు పార్ట్ టైం అవన్నీ ఎందుకు అని చెప్పేసి. అండ్ వాట్స్ ఫనీ ఇస్ దట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ జస్ట్ ద కేస్ ఆఫ్ మై మమ్మీ హియర్, ఐ లవ్ యూ మమ్మీ, బట్ ప్రతి ఇంట్లో ఏమనిపిస్తుంది అంటే పార్ట్ టైం జాబ్ అంటే అయిపోయిందిరా, ఇంక అయిపోయింది, ఇంక ఈ జీతం అంతా ఇదే చేస్తుంది అంటే దే లిమిట్ పార్ట్ టైం జాబ్ టు ది ఎంటైర్ లైక్ ద కరియర్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండివిజువల్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్. Part-time jobs or gig economies, these are considered to be something only, which I mentioned, people who desperately need it. But again, they're glorified in other
the Western
countries.
culture. Yeah. I have a friend who runs a petrol bunk here in Hyderabad. Went to Australia to do his masters.
Okay.
I'm forgetting the course. There he worked in McDonald's to fund his education. Right.
Exactly.
And he runs a petrol bunk right now in Hyderabad. So it's not that his family is not well to do. His family is well off. Yeah. His family is well off. But yeah, you're actually very right. Getting our hands dirty is something that is appreciated when you're actually in the workforce. In the workforce, people encourage you to do stuff and get things done on your own and everything. But that becomes too late, right? You have to have that advantage when you start. Let's say when you're we see that in the movies and all everything, right? That the Western kids at, let's say, age of 14 or 15, they start working at a convenience store or something, and they start doing small gigs and they start earning money. And it's not just about earning money. It's about learning how the world actually works, how economy actually works. So much talk is happening about entrepreneurship and everything at one hand, that we should be business owners and we should be entrepreneurs, but then
Workwear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are
as an entrepreneur, you have to get your hands dirty. You have to work in the small jobs that you feel are small quote unquote. You have to do that. Otherwise, if there's no way out, then again you'll be just following orders. Even in most cases, you can't even follow orders.
Yeah, it feels like you అంటే you're basically ఒక పురుగు, ఇట్లా పెద్ద పక్షుల దాంట్లో నువ్వు ఒక పురుగు అట్లా అనిపిస్తుంది. If you don't have that expertise,
if you had
expertise కూడా కాదు, experience.
Yeah. If you had worked in that Ratnadiplo as a cashier, you would have understood much better things.
About the average time and stuff,
Yeah, average time stuff. You would have understood supply chain, where this product is being made, where the product is coming and everything. And that understanding, when you'll do, let's say if you prepare for a government job or something, then you'll write big answers for it. Supply chain management in the world and everything
is connected, and దాంట్లో తప్పేం లేదు if you're doing anything. Some or the other day that's gonna come handy for you. And also the reason why I feel ki parents are against their children from doing part-time jobs personally is that they're like, మేము ఆల్రెడీ పిల్లల కోసమే కష్టపడుతున్నాం కదా, they're like centric towards like providing comfort to the children, but when are they gonna work? But again, irony ఏంటంటే మళ్ళీ పేరెంట్స్ అంటారు, నేను ఇంత కష్టపడ్డా అంత కష్టపడ్డా, వాట్ ఆర్ యూ డూయింగ్. ఐ ఫీల్ లైక్ రాదర్ దెన్ నాగింగ్, జస్ట్ పుష్ దెమ్. బట్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్ I don't want to sound like an elite. Oh my God, there's so much struggle going on.
I agree. Even I come from a very privileged background, right? Very privileged background. But my parents always told me that you need to be street smart. You don't have to be book smart or book smart, but they did want, let's say, me.
Koncham A grade.
Yeah,
koncham
A grade,
pass.
A plus, 80%, 90% they wanted.
Yeah.
But they also wanted me to be very, very street smart. And you don't get street smart just by reading books. You have to go out there and do stuff, right? I remember, so my family is into events. And at the age of 9 or 10, I used to play DJ I used to be a DJ in parties and everything. I used to DJ at a couple of parties where, let's say, at that point of time, I was a very small kid at 9 or 10. So at family events and everything, I used to DJ. So that did not, that kind of gave me, I would say, a head start into life. That, I started understanding, okay, how the world actually looks. Instead of just being cocooned in, let's say, school extracurricular activities and everything. I got, like you were mentioning, exposure. I got exposure early on. And that is an advantage that every parent needs to give to their kids. Of course, good foundation, wealth and everything, these are definitely, needed things for a child. But even this is needed for a child.
with your points, that comes down to this question about exploitation of laborers. With this regard, so there is this clip which is going viral and this prototype which is going viral. It's called Carryman. It's based off.
Yeah. I think I've seen this company in Delhi. Yeah.
It's like a provision of a guy who's going to carry your stuff as you're shopping. He's basically like your shopping assistant with a specific charge per hour on like an hourly basis. For this clip, this has gathered a lot of attention as well as a lot of criticism, saying that, is this how rich people, kind of trash people, or like, there's exploitation of labor. Now, would you call this as exploitation of labor, or do you think this is just another job opportunity?
Okay. Yeah, some people may say that, that is a rich person exploiting, let's say, a poor person. Okay, fine. That's one way to look at it. Second way to look at it is the company is the company forcing people to do this? I feel like no. I don't think any person can come and say, Creepy, you have to pick my stuff and wear this orange t-shirt and go with that guy to pick their stuff. It's not happening, right? The company came up with, the company probably said, I find I'm looking at a gap. I feel like there's a problem existing in the market that, women, or let's say, pregnant women or elderly women are shopping in the market, but they're not able to carry this stuff because, again, they literally can't, or let's say an elderly couple is covered and they can't carry so much of weight. So probably this company thought that, okay, there is a gap, and I think I can design a product or a service around this. The company thought that, right? And then the company then asked for people who would volunteer for this kind of a job and get paid. And let's say if these men who are actually doing this job, if they want to do this job, right, which means that they do not have any alternative elsewhere. Like if I were asked to do that kind of a job, I would not do. Why? Because I have an alternative elsewhere. I am educated, I have a job. If I don't have a job right now, I'll go for a different job probably. Okay? So probably that person does not have that choice in their life. So if a person is, voluntarily doing that job and earning money from it, I feel like that person does not have any other alternative elsewhere, and hence they are doing that job, right? So I don't think that's exploitation of labor. Whether we failed as a society to give him a good education, good background, good minimum education, and an opportunity for better job, yes, we as a society have failed in that aspect for sure. That we're not able to educate people at least minimum so that they can earn a better livelihood elsewhere. To that extent, we've failed. But then this company came and identified a gap on the demand side and the supply side. It just matched these two things. So I don't think that's an exploitation of labor.
And I genuinely feel like, yeah, I would agree. And it's basically like, if you have an opportunity, why not take it? And if people are like, rich people, or like, people from a specific group or a specific class, or using people or something, it doesn't really matter as long as the other party gets the money. And as long as the other party feels that, they feel comfortable in doing such stuff, why not?
Exactly. In Calcutta and in parts of West Bengal, this is very famous, where let's say there's a rickshaw, but the man is pulling that rickshaw, right? People are sitting and the man is pulling that rickshaw. Now, is that exploitation of labor? Again, should that job exist right now? Not really. Because you have mechanized carts, you have a rickshaw, you have, let's say, an auto and everything. I think the government in that case, or let's say any service provider in that case, should be able to, we should be able to afford a rickshaw, right? Right. So to that extent, that job should not exist in the first place. But the reason that person is hand pulling that cart is because there's no other alternative for him. He knows that he cannot go get a job anywhere else. To that extent, we as a society have failed. That in this day and age, we have to do that kind of a job.
Well, few communities, again, this is like purely based off on communities and stuff, they take that profession as pride. There are few professions where people, even though, time has evolved and there are artisans and certain professions, they've been taken up with pride. Now, that's like another topic altogether. But I feel like not all jobs are like, forced out of lack of hope. It's if they're willingly taking it, as long as the willingness is there, I feel that would work.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to if you were to pick between two things, of course I would pick willingness first. If is the person willing to do that kind of a job? Okay, if they are willing, then fine. But still, we as a society should encourage certain jobs and should not encourage certain jobs. Manual scavenging, right? Countries other than India have moved on to a tech-based solution. Can we not afford that kind of a tech, or can we not have that tech here in India? We can. We certainly can. We do have. I mean, we can not just import the technology, but we can also create something in-house, and we should use it in scale. A person should not have to go down a manhole to clean the drainage and everything, right? So we as a society should discourage these kind of jobs.
Which are hazardous and
Exactly.
which puts the human life at risk.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
because alternatives exist for that.
Yeah.
Even let's say the person who is doing that manual scavenging can be trained a little bit to the technology, and they can carry their job. So, yeah.
Lovely. I genuinely like whatever we yapped about, or we gave our opinions.
Where is the politics here then? We discussed so many. We discussed part-time jobs. We discussed dignity of labor. We discussed exploitative labor. Where is politics here then?
Yeah, it's a valid question again.
Valid question, but a very commonsensical question, I feel. Subtle.
Okay. Ouch. Okay.
Yeah. So, I think politics is, in this whole thing, politics is at the fundamental level, politics is about collectivizing on a problem, mobilizing the people in large scale, and then fighting for that, right? So let's say if enough people feel that okay, X is a problem, and they want to mobilize around it and ask the government to do something about it, or contest elections and everything, and that is politics. So all of the issues that we discussed, people tend to confuse politics with a lot of things, and people tend to have glory notions of politics being so great, or politics being so dirty and everything. I think politics is what it is. It is basically mobilizing opinions.
So we're gonna close this session with few rapid fire questions.
Oh wow.
Okay. So one word, is gig work in India currently fair or unfair?
Fair. I would say fair because
I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
I would say fair because it is giving you a lot of opportunity. Of course, there are problems in a couple of things here and there, but it is giving you a lot of opportunity. It is otherwise you would be in a much worse state than you are right now if you are part of a gig economy. Do we need to?
If we weren't in the gig,
If you weren't in the gig
yeah.
economy, you would have been at a much worse place.
Yeah.
Do we need to fix the problems that exist in the gig economy? Of course, yes. But this is fair.
If you had to bet, will gig workers have real protections in 5 years?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. Because some credit goes to definitely to the companies who are now realizing that we need to provide some safety net and security to our employees. But a lot of it has to go to the gig workers themselves. They have used politics, to get rights for themselves. They have started collectivizing their opinions and, formally recording their problems, trying to speak up about the problems that exist and everything. And they have been getting rights for themselves. So I feel like in the next 5 years, not even 5 years, probably I would say 2-3 years, I think the gig workers will be in a much better place than they are in right now.
Last one. As someone who hires gig workers, do you hire gig workers? I don't know, but okay. Let's just say, as someone who hires gig workers, would you want them unionizing against people like you? Let's just say this is a hypothetical question here.
Yeah. Unionizing to have conversations, to peacefully discuss issues, yes. Unionizing to destabilize the work and production and cause a problem at the industry, no.
But what if you were like in the wrong, and these peaceful talks were all thrown aside, and then they decide to start a revolution or something. Not really a revolution, but like a protest.
Then what choice do I have? Then shut down the production. Then where will you unionize? Go to a different company.
Dark. Got him.
No, I mean, yeah, like all of for unionizing. If let's say it is about solving a problem, so fundamentally we should understand that employer-employee relation is not an you versus me relationship. It is you and me relationship. If unionizing helps in that you and me relationship, very good, 100% OP.
If
Very
not?
nice. If not, then there's a problem. It can be on either side. It may be that the employer does not listen, or the employee demands are too much. So you have to have a balance. When that balance tips is when you then you're 6-7.
So this final question, it's a would you rather
Yeah.
for all of you guys who's watching and like who's right here with me. Would you rather pick a job which is low paying but at a corporate firm, or would you take a job which is high paying but in a gig economy, which is like part time or on a contractual basis?
So if I had the choice of working for a low salary in a corporate job or working for a high salary in a gig job, I would pick working based on gigs for a high job, for a high salary. Only reason being that first it's very high paying, and at this point of time in 2026, I feel like money matters more than any other thing. So I would pick a gig that is paying me very, very well. But not as a permanent solution to my employment crisis. I would really, really look forward to upskilling myself and getting a better job elsewhere. So probably 2-3 years I'll do a gig. I'll be part of the gig economy, platform economy, earn well, upskill myself, and do a better job there next time.
Is there like a plan B to this if there's like in times of uncertainty?
I feel like plan A was uncertainty, plan B is gig economy.
Arey yaar.
Yeah.
Nirala chara. My bad.
Palamina, Pulamina.
I don't think we're supposed to get the pan. Anyways,
Yeah.
I think this is it for our episode at Politics with Gen Z. Thank you so much. Thanks, Ankit, for the pizza and
Thanks,
chocolate lava
Krithi.
cake and mogu mogu. So, bye from me and Bullodu. No, Bobili Raju, sorry. God, I forgot. Yeah, bye.